Hello everyone. Today I'm about to do sequences and series. Mainly, I'm going to focus on the arithmetic sequence, sometimes called a linear sequence. Together, the arithmetic or linear number pattern. A linear number pattern is just an order which is uniform, whereby the numbers are placed together. Uniform simply means that the change is the same together. But don't worry about that. I'll further explain it as we move forward. For an arithmetic sequence or linear number pattern, we have a general term that is used to generate all the terms of the sequence together. And this equation is called the general term because it's used to generate all the terms of the sequence together, whereby A is the first term and D is the common difference, and then N tells us about two things. It's either it tells us about the position of a term or the number of terms in a sequence. This is the first term. This one is the common difference, and then here we're dealing with the number of terms. Or a position of a term in a sequence. Okay. How so? Let me further explain UN, because A and D are easier to find. Okay, let's start with D. D is the difference. We just create by saying T2 minus T1. And since this difference is common, that means even if you say T3 minus T2, you'll get the same thing. Even if you say T4 minus T3, you only need to subtract the consecutive terms, the bigger one minus the small one together. This thing will go until the last term. Have Tn minus Tn minus 1. This is how you find it. The first difference of your sequence together. And then now let's deal with N. N tells us about two different things. I'm drawing a borderline because I just want to write a summary of important facts there whenever I'm done. N tells us about two things. It's either the number of terms or position of a term. How so? If ever they want you to find the number of terms in the sequence, they must give you the last term. The last term of the sequence must be given. The last term, it must be there. It must be given, or you must calculate it together. And then if ever they want you to find the position of a term, they must give you that term. Must be given together. So the typical way is they can ask these two different questions. Let me write them in green, not in green, red. For this one, they'll say which term of the sequence is equal to, maybe they can say 45. That this thing simply means that yes, you know that 45 is in the sequence, but you just want to know which term of the sequence is equal to 45. Are you together? And then for n, which will give you the number of terms, they will say to you, calculate n, the number of terms if the last term is x. X just represents any numerical term. Ne? They will ask you like this if on your sequence you are not given the value of the last term. But if you have a sequence like this, 1, 3, 5, this thing goes until maybe let's say 39. You know that 39 is your last term. Are you together? So since you have the last term, you can now calculate the value of n in your sequence. Are you together? So my summary, firstly, spoken about the difference, that is t2 minus t1, which is t3 minus t2, and this thing goes on and on. Are we together? The sequence is linear or uniform or arithmetic. It's up to you how you call it, but the difference is the same. Are you together? And then another thing we've learned is that we have Tn. Tn gives us the general terms of the sequence. And for you to find Tn, there are only two things you need. There are only two things you need. Only need the first term and the difference. These are the only things you need to find the general term of your of a particular sequence. Are you together? Thirdly, we've spoken about n. We said if n is you are given, if ever you are given a term and then you are asked to find the position of a term, you must be given the value of the term. Term must be given. It must be given to you, né? But if you deal with n and they want you to find the number of terms, therefore the last term must be given to you. Are you together? So far we've spoken about those things now. If you have a sequence and you want to find the next terms of the sequence, all you need to do is to just add the common difference. For example, here I know that I have 1, 3, 5. My difference is 2. For me to move from 1 to 3, I said 1 plus 2, I got 3. 1 plus 2, I got 5. That means 5 plus 2, I'll get 7. 7 plus 2, I'll get 9, etc. until I reach 39. Are you together? So just keep that in mind, that whenever you want to find the next term of the sequence and you do have the previous term, just add the difference. Are you together? Sometimes you will be asked to find the sum of all the terms. We will use this formula. Sn, n, it's 2a plus n minus 1d. Are you together? Please note that this thing is the first term, hasn't changed, d hasn't changed, the common difference, and n is the number of first n terms. The number of first n terms. Are you together? For us to use this formula of Sn, we must have three things. We must know the value of a, n, and d. And if the word first is omitted on that statement, do not use this formula. This formula only calculates the sum of all the first terms until n. If they want you to calculate the sum for 14 terms, they will say to you, calculate the sum of the first 14 terms of the sequence. Then you use this thing. But if they said to you, just calculate the sum of the 14 terms, do not use this formula. Are we together? There's another one that we can use. Sn is equal to n over 2, and then there's a plus l. This one is used whenever you know the value of the last term of the sequence. L represents the last term of the sequence. In this case, we have a sequence and we do have the last term. So it's simple. We can just substitute it here, and then a will be the first term, and then n will be the number of terms of the sequence. Are we together? Okay. So let's say now we have a question like this. Let me bar the question. We have 7, 9, 11. This thing goes on and on until 51. Until 51. Number one, what do we have? Number one, let's say they'll say find the value of T4, T5, and 6. Number 2, find the general formula. And then number 3, maybe the question will be like which term of the sequence is equal to, maybe let's say 39. And then number 4, calculate n, which is the number of terms of the sequence. And then question number 5. The question number 5, maybe it will say to you, calculate the sum of the first n terms of the sequence. Then number 6, represent the sequence in sigma notation. I know I haven't said anything about sigma notation, but I'll touch it there. Number 1, they want me to find the sum of the first. Number 1, they want me to find T4 and 5, né? T4, 5, 6. T4, 5, and 6. I have 9 and I have 11. I do have a common difference here, né? The common difference is 2, because 9 minus 7 is 2, 11 minus 9 is 2, so it will be just 2, always 2 and 2. So for me to find the next term, I must just add the common difference. 11 plus 2 is 13. 13 plus 2 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. So this is T4, 5, and 6. Are we together? And then answering number 2, they want me to find the general formula, the general term of the sequence. Are we together? So for me to find the general term of the sequence, I did say that I only need two things. I only need the value of A and the value of D, because my answer will be always in terms of n. So the value of A is equal to 7. My difference is 2. So I'll have 7 plus 2n minus 2. This thing will give me 7n plus 5. Alright, together. So this is my general term of the sequence. Alright, together. And then I must calculate n. No, the third question says which term of the sequence is equal to 39. I'm being told that 39 is the term in the sequence. So I just want to know in which position is 39 in. So I'll just say Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1d. I have 39 here. A, the first term is 7 plus n minus 2, which is the difference. Now when I take the 7 to the other side, it will subtract from 39, then I'll be left with 32. This side I'll be left with this, and then 32 over 2 is 16. That's n minus 1. Then n is equal to 17. Let's get. So my conclusion should be, therefore, the 17th term is 39, because I was asked which term of the sequence is equal to 39. The answer is the 17th term of the sequence is 39. Are we together? And then I'm supposed to calculate n, which is the number of terms. N, the number of terms of the sequence. For me to find the number of terms, they must give me the last term of the sequence. Are we together? For me to find the number of terms, the last term of the sequence should be given to me. And the last term of the sequence is equal to 51. 51. The first term is 7. The difference is 2. So 51 minus 7, what do I get? I'll get 44. And then divide everything by 2. 22 is equal to n minus 1. Then n is 23. Therefore, the sequence has 23 terms. Are you together? And then the last question says, calculate the sum of the first n terms. They want me to find Sn. Are you together? But for me to find Sn, I only need three things. I need the value of the first term, the common difference, and n. Please guys, this word is very important. Ne? The sum of the first n terms. Okay, my A is equal to what? 7. My difference is 2, and then n is 23, because I just calculated n there. So I just want to find the sum of the first 23 terms. I'll just say n over 2, then use this equation. This one always works, guys, whether I have the last term or not. This will always work, ne? My n is 23, and then I'll have 2 times 7 plus 23 minus 1. The difference is 2. I don't have a calculator with me, but I can try to do just this nyana. Let me see. 23 minus 1 is 22. 22 times 2 is 44. I have 23 over 2 multiply. This guy will give me 58. This is 23 multiplied by 58 divided by 2. 25 plus 4 is 29. Guys, please use a calculator. I don't have one. My pride doesn't allow me to use a calculator. I'm kidding. 23 times 29. Yeah. 9 times 3. 9, 18, 27. Carry 2. 18. This is 207. 6 and 4. 7, 6. Okay, this is 6, 6, 7. From here, guys, you don't have to do everything that I just did, né? Just punch your calculator, you'll get straight there. All together. So this is the sum of the first 23 terms of the sequence. This is how you do it, né? And then for sigma is just a Greek letter, guys, which is used to tell you to add the terms of the sequence. Are you together? So sigma, for sigma here, you'll have the position of the first term. Since you are the one who's writing sigma, you must write 1 here. And then here, everything that is here should be a general term of the sequence. In our case, the general term of our sequence, we got, what did we get? We got 7n plus 5. 7n plus 5. Are you together? And then here, we must write 23. And then this is equal to 667. Are you together? This thing simply says, if I add my terms from the first term until the last term, I'll get 667. Are you together? But guys, please note, not always the time this guy here is your last term. Whenever you find n space to be exact, if you are given a sigma notation, let me use these things, a, b, yeah, let me just use this. For me to find n, I must always say the top part minus the bottom, always say plus 1. Are you together? So the number of terms should be all, the number of terms here should be what? 23 minus 1 plus 1. Yes, I'll get 23. But please, guys, not always the time this guy and this guy are the same. Are you together? Please note that. I want us to do to find the sum whenever you're just given sigma. On the exam, they'll just say to you, calculate or evaluate. You will be given something like this. Maybe n is equal to -2, and then n is equal to 5. Probably 4n minus 6. Okay. Since we are dealing with arithmetic sequence, I know that this sigma notation is for arithmetic sequence. On your exam papers, guys, for those who are doing matric, whenever you are given a sigma notation, it will be for arithmetic sequence or geometric sequence. If you don't have n at your exponent, just consider it to be arithmetic sequence. Né? But to confirm that, you must just find the first three terms and then check whether you have a common difference or not. How do I do so? To find T1, I must just substitute whatever that is here whenever I see n. Are you together? So I'll say 4 minus 2, there's minus 6 there. What do I get? I get a negative 10. And then for the second term, I'll just increment by 1. That thing simply means I'll say a negative 2 plus 1 will give me what? A negative 1. Yeah? So I'll just put a negative 1. Then what? Here I'll get negative 10. And then there it should be negative 14. And then for my third term, I'll keep on incrementing by 1 whenever I see n. It will be 4 multiplied by 0 minus 6. I'll get negative 6. Why is that the case, guys? Because whenever I have a negative 2, negative 2 plus 1 will give me a negative 1. Hence I substituted there. And then a negative 1 plus 1 will give me 0. Hence I substituted there. If I wanted to find the fourth term, I was going to say 0 plus 1. I'll keep on incrementing by a 1. Are you together? That means T4 would be equal to 4 by 4 minus 6, which is 10. How? No, that's not true. 4 multiplied by 1 minus 6, which is negative 2, as case. Altogether. So for me to evaluate this thing, I just needed to find the first three terms. I know they are negative 14, negative 10, and negative 6. I can find the difference here. When I say a negative 10 minus a negative 14, I'll get a positive 4. Negative 6 minus a negative 10, I'll get a positive 4. So for me to find the sum for this sequence, I need A rather, D, now I must find N. My A is equal to negative 14. My D, which is the difference, is equal to 4. And then my N is always top minus bottom plus 1. It will be 5 minus a negative 2 plus 1. This thing will give me 8. So this thing simply means I have 8 terms here. So it will be simple for me to find the sum. So I know that Sn is equal to n over 2a, like this. Now I know that n is 8, so it's sum of the first 8 terms. This is negative 14 plus 8 minus 1 multiplied by 2. This 8 over 2 is 4. 2 times a negative 14 is negative 28. 7 multiplied by 2 is 14. So this is 4 multiplied by negative 14. 4 multiplied by negative 14. What do I get? 28 plus 28. I believe I'll get this. So whenever I have sigma and it's given to me like this, for me to find the sum, because sigma simply means find the sum of all the terms that are put in a particular sequence. So since I know that this thing is arithmetic, I must find the first term, the common difference, and n. Are you together? And then after finding those three things, I can now calculate the sum. Are you together? So this is how we tackle the basic of arithmetic sequences, guys. I hope from grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. You'll be asked these things. Are you together? I hope you understand. Okay, now let's deal with situations whereby a sequence is being described to us. Whenever a sequence is described to us, we must find it ourselves and then answer the questions below. Are you together? Maybe they can say to us T8 of an arithmetic sequence is 19, and then T15 is 39. Basically, calculate the value of the first term or the common difference. What would you do? Because now you are not given the sequence. Most of the time you'll be given the sequence, but there are instances whereby a sequence will be described to you. What will you do? Okay, we use these formulas there. Let's just ignore this for now. We know that this thing generates all the terms out together. So if ever I want T1, that means I must just substitute 1 whenever I see n out together. So in this case, T1 will be A plus 1 minus 1 is 0. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0, right? Hence, I did say that the first term of the sequence is A. T2, whenever I see n rather, I must put 2 out together. So in this case, I will have A plus D. T3, whenever I see n, I must put 3. In this case, I will have A plus 2D. T4, it will be A plus 3D. Do you guys see the relationship between the position of a term and the coefficient of D? The coefficient of D is always 1 less than the position of the term. Here, my position was 1, hence the coefficient was 0, so we didn't bother to even write it because everything will be 0. The position is 2 here, but the coefficient is 1. The position is 3, the coefficient is 2. The position is 4, the coefficient is 3. So this thing simply means that if I want T10, I just need to say A plus 90. I don't need to substitute because I can see the trend. All right, together. So for me to find T45, I just need to say A plus 44 D. All right, together. And then by just doing this, I can just find the terms of the sequence. All right, together. So let's just do one example. One example whereby a sequence is being described to us. I will read it out, guys, and I hope you'll write it down. I'll just write the important things. Ne? It says the fifth term of an arithmetic number pattern is 15. T5 is 15. And the ninth term is 29. T9 is 29. Are you together? And then the question says determine the number of terms of the series of which the sum is 165. I know that Sn is 165, but I remember, guys, whenever you are given Sn, that means you must use it to solve something altogether. In this case, Sn is only used whenever you have the value of A, N, and D. By using these two, the first two statements, we can find the value of A and D, and then we'll go further to find N by accommodating the sum altogether. Okay, here we are told that the fifth term is 15. Simply means that A plus 4D is 15. This is equation 1. Equation 2, we are told that the ninth term is 27, not 29. The ninth term is 27, né? So that means a plus 8d is 27. We have two equations we want to solve simultaneously. And for us to find the n that they want, you must know the value of a and d. So here you can just say equation 2 minus equation 1, or you can make one variable the subject of the formula and then solve simultaneously. And a quicker way is to just do this: a plus 8d minus a plus 4d. Do the same thing on the right hand side. It will be 27 minus 15. So in this case, I'll have a plus 8d minus a minus 4 is equal to 12. So 4d is 12. The difference is 3. Why is it 12? Because these two guys will subtract, then I'll be left with 8 minus 4d, which is 4d. And then 4d is equal to 12. Divide everything by 4. D is equal to 3. Then now I need to find a. I can use either one of these two equations. I know that a plus 4d, which is 3, must give me 15. A plus 12 must give me 15. That means a should be 3 as well, because 15 minus 12 is 3. Alright, together guys. So now I need to find n. I'm told that the sum of n terms is 165, né? So this is 165 if ever n is what? Okay, we're calculating the value of n, né? A is 3, we don't know n, d is 3 as well. 165, this thing over here, n over 2, this is 6 plus 3n minus 3. What is 165 multiplied by 2? 0. This is 280 is equal to 3n is equal to 3n squared minus 3n. So here you're just supposed to solve for n, guys. I don't have a calculator with me, so I will struggle. You can just use your quadratic formula and then find the value of n, guys. I was just showing you how to deal with sigma notations, or in this case I was just showing you how to deal with a situation whereby a sequence is being described to you and you do not know the sequence, né? So for you to solve, you must first find the values of a and d, and then you can find the first 3 terms of your sequence. We had 3 and 3 as the difference. That means this one was 6 and 9. We have 3, 6 and 9. I want to know the values of n that will give me the sum 165. So I have the sum, I have the value of a, I have d. The only thing I don't have is n. I'll be out together. So whenever a sequence is being described to you, every time, if that sequence is arithmetic, use these formulas. They always work. Out together, guys. Please stay tuned. like, subscribe. I'll do more questions with regards to sequences. I have a very beautiful tutorial with sequences. Stay tuned.